You've probably wondered what life would be like if you could read people's minds. Some people rely on their intuition, but if you lack intuition, you have only one option: to read and understand people's body language. According to experts, body language makes up 55% of what we express, voice tone makes up 38%, and real words only 7%. This means that in addition to what can express a person's appearance, we must consider these three qualities when meeting someone. If you want to look into someone's personality when you first meet him, pay attention to non-verbal stimuli. In this video we will discover 13 psychological tips on how to read someone immediately. Pay close attention to the last 5 numbers because they will amaze you how it works. (13) Observe their posture. The way someone carries themselves can reveal a lot about their self-assurance. For example, if someone walks upright with their shoulders back and their look straight ahead, it shows that they are self-assured and content. Slouching over and staring at the ground, on the other hand, gives a completely different impression. It doesn't necessarily imply low self-esteem, but that's the message it normally sends. (12) Observe how they walk. Self-confidence is often lacking in people who shuffle around, move at a slow pace, or keep their heads down. If you notice these traits in someone you're speaking with, go out of your way to commend them to boost their self-esteem. Alternatively, you might need to ask him or her more direct questions to get those wonderful ideas. (11) Stepping back is not a good sign. When someone takes a rapid step back when you're talking to them, it usually means that anything you said made them uncomfortable or that they're not interested in the subject and want to go. If the speaker is subjected to this type of behavior, they are less likely to open up in front of that person. (10) Frequent nodding. When someone nods, they are usually agreeing with you. Excessive nodding may show apprehension about approbation. When you tell someone anything and they nod a lot, it means they're worried about what you think of them, or you mistrust their ability to follow your instructions. Similar to when someone continues to look at their clock or touches their car keys, frequent nodding could be inadvertent signals for the other person to move on. (9) Identify a strong voice. People who are self-assured communicate clearly. The most powerful person at a conference table has a broad smile, a commanding attitude, and a commanding voice. A loud voice is not the same as a strong voice. When presenting a concept to a group, it's natural to focus on the team leader. That leader's personality, on the other hand, may be absent. In reality, he or she is easily swayed by others and places a great deal of trust in them to make decisions. You have a better chance of reading a person's thinking if you identify the powerful voice. (8) Eye crinkles with a real smile. When people grin, their cheeks may lie, but their eyes do not. Genuine grins always reach the eyes, wrinkling the skin and causing crow's feet to appear on the face. People often smile to hide their thoughts, feelings, and sentiments. Look at a person's eyes and see if the observer observes crow's feet on the corners. If so, it's an honest smile. If not, they're probably hiding something. (7) Consider personalities. Identifying and evaluating specific qualities can help you figure out who a person is and what matters to them. Pay attention to traits and verbiage for hints into someone's personality. Someone who wants to be in charge, for example, may have an extremely firm handshake. People who appreciate sarcasm are likely to employ it frequently in conversation. Use these cues to figure out what they value and how they go about solving problems. (6) Pay attention to their eyebrows. To determine a person's level of comfort, look at their brows. The 3 main emotions that lift your brows are delight, sadness, and fear. If someone raises their eyebrows at you and the situation isn't one that would ordinarily cause fear, grief, or happiness, it's a sign that they're uneasy. 5. Look for inconsistencies. Look for inconsistencies between your baseline and the person's statements and gestures. For example, you've noticed that when one of your most important suppliers gets nervous, he clears his throat regularly. He begins to do so by proposing some rather minor changes to your business arrangement. Is there more to this story than meets the eye? You have the option of digging a little further and asking a few extra questions than usual. 4. Leaning forward. This is also a typical type of nonverbal communication. The simplest way to understand this is the closer you get, the more engaged you are. This suggests that he or she is interested in the subject under discussion. When leaning forward is coupled by a true grin and nodding, it's an obvious way to concur nonverbally. Positive listening postures can boost a speaker's vivacity by creating the idea that the person listening is receptive, kind, and approachable. 3. Asking the right questions. Another way to figure out what someone is thinking is to ask the right questions and check for their pain areas. To learn about their hobbies, it's vital to establish a personal relationship. To learn about a person's strengths and flaws, ask open-ended questions. Share examples of how you've aided others. People usually always agree that they are dealing with the same issue, which might assist you better understand what they need. 2. Maintain eye contact. The windows to the soul are commonly referred to as the eyes. When assessing the type of eye contact someone is making with you, keep the context in mind. It could be a sign of a romantic interest if someone can't take their attention away from you. When you look someone in the eyes and they don't return your gaze, it's a sign that they're either nervous or have something to hide. If you're talking to someone who makes you squirm, especially if they're very still and not blinking, something's wrong, and they could be lying to you. 1. Create a baseline. People differ in terms of personality traits and behavioral patterns. They may frequently clear their throats, look down while speaking, cross their arms, scratch their heads, rub their necks, grimace, pout, or wriggle their feet. We may not notice these things when they are done by others at first. If we do, we are unconcerned about it. These acts are carried out for a variety of reasons. It could simply be a question of politeness. These similar behaviors can be signs of deception, wrath, or anxiety. Reading and interpreting nonverbal signs will be easier if you establish a mental baseline of normal conduct in others.